some color to your landscape. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to work on our little dock, okay? And for that, it's made out of wood, so you want to choose like tans and browns. Okay, so I've got kind of a lighter brown and a darker brown color here. And when we're trying to add color to wood, you can always mix colors. So I can kind of just do this, you know, just makes it look a little bit rougher, like the texture of wood. And then you're also going to be using a black to form the gaps between the boards on our dock. So you can go over your pencil lines with black first if you want, or you can do the brown first. That's up to you. So you can go ahead and pause your video and begin to add brown and black to the boards on your dock. And then you're probably going to want to use a darker brown here. You're going to press nice and hard so that this gets filled in completely. Like that. And then maybe use a tan or a lighter brown for the top. Okay, so I have now managed to fill in my dock with nice solid light and dark browns in here and light and dark browns in the posts. Okay, and I think maybe I'm going to move on to taking care of my trees because I already have these brown pencils out. So I'm going to just kind of press nice and hard, make some lines in here like this with a lighter brown and a darker brown. So you can see I'm kind of following the way the trunk of the tree is here. That's going to give a nice texture to the bark of the tree. And now I'm going to go in with my darker brown and fill in the gaps. And again, I'm pressing nice and hard so I don't show any white paper through that color. And then for the trees, it's really up to you how many colors you want to use in them. Okay. So I kind of got some different greens going on that I found in the colored pencil bucket. And I think first thing I'm going to do is take care of going over my yucky pencil lines, make them green. And then I'm just going to do kind of a scribble scrabble going a couple different directions with one color. Now in this case I've chosen the lighter green. You can see I'm leaving some white through the color here. Sorry. No. I'm going to do the same with the other tree. Again, I'm just kind of going a couple different directions with it. And I'm going to do the same with my other two greens. And eventually, it's going to give me a nice look of the leaves. Because leaves aren't always exactly the same color. Go in here with my darkest green. There's one tree done. See all those different colors up in there. My camera's not doing it justice. You can see a lot of the yellow green in here too. And then do the other tree the same way. So you can pause the video and take care of the two trees next. Okay, so I finished my trees. Now I want to deal with the water. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be putting a black base down. In other words, we're going to take a black colored pencil and kind of push medium and fill this in. And I'll get to that in a minute. Then we're going to go over it with a color. Now, if you look here, I've started to experiment with colors. So I put some black down like this, okay? And then I pick different colors that I think might look good for the water. So you can see I've kind of picked some different blues here, okay, out of my colored pencil bucket. I'm also going to try some blue-greens. Now this one says teal. Okay, so that's an interesting look. That, to me, looks a lot more like a lake or a river than these, but that's up to you. And there are several different types of Crayola blue-greens. You have teal, you have green-blue, okay? And you can test these out and see which one you like the best. Okay, what's this one? This one says aqua. So let's try a little black and see what that one looks like. All right, so these three look similar, but really they are not the same. All right, I'm definitely loving either this one right here, which is my aqua green. I'm also liking the blue over the black. That looks pretty cool too. So I think that's my go-to for me. You pick what you want to do. You can see I've got all these colored pencils here that I'm testing out in the back of my little landscape. All right, so I chose to go with the blue, which is this one right here. It just says blue on it. Okay, and like I said, we're going to start by carefully adding a black base color. Now, if you look at the way I'm holding this pencil, this is very unique. Okay, I'm holding it on its side. That way, I know that I'm not going to leave a lot of little darker or lighter lines. Okay, it's just an easier way to fill in big spaces with an even amount of color. Okay. You can see I'm just kind of graying out where all my water is in my landscape picture. Being very careful not to crinkle my edges as I go around here. Okay. And you're going to keep filling all of this space in around your boat. Be careful. Okay. Right in through there. And then you're going to finish off all of this as well. Okay. Again, keeping it nice and neat. Carefully done with the colored pencils. Want to be careful not to push too hard in some areas and not hard enough in others. I want to try and keep it even. Now, I am doing my coloring the way my hand is comfortable. You can see I'm working side to side here. Now, one thing you can do when you're done is if you wanted to even it out even more, you could go the opposite way and fill it in. But that's up to you. I'm not going to do it. Okay, what I don't want to see is a bunch of this. Okay, that will get you a bad grade. Or if it's really bad and you've gone way too fast, I'm going to make you start over again. We don't want that. So, once you have your black base down in the water, you're going to take your color that you've chosen to do the water with, and you're going to go over it very carefully, pressing hard. This particular step, if you were following my instructions in the video for drawing this picture, will take you a long time. Give your hand little breaks as it starts to cramp up. But we want solid colors, no white showing through them, so you are pressing hard. So you can pause the video, choose your color for your water, find a black colored pencil, and start filling in this area around your dock and around your boat, being careful not to cover up the sails of your boat, and staying right along all those lines you worked so hard to draw. So go ahead and take care of that next step, and then we'll move on. Okay, so there you have it. I've pretty much finished up my water. And next, we're going to move on to the two hills for the trees. So for this, I think you should probably choose like a yellow-green of some sort. Okay, and you're just going to fill in the hills with that color. Simple, simple. So go ahead and take care of that. You pause my video yet again. This is a nice, easy step. So find yourself some type of yellow-green. Fill in this hill and that hill.